St. Bridget of Sweden was given visions. She was given a form of a rosary. And the Franciscans in the year 1422, this is Franciscan history here, was given to a novice named James, who was kind of bummed out because in the novitiate, he was not able to make wreaths to crown Our Lady with roses. And he felt disappointed that he wasn't able to do that. So Our Lady came to him, and she gave him a Franciscan form of a rosary, the Franciscan Corona, the Franciscan Crown Rosary. And she specifically let him know that it was to be an understanding of crowning her with roses. And then it kicked in that all forms of Marian Psalters, whether they were the Dominican, Servite, Brigittine, Franciscan, would be known as rosaries. That's when it got the name. So, although it was originally given to St. Dominic, the church is perpetually grateful to the Franciscans for that vision given to that novice in the year 1422. And as the century progressed, the Dominicans fully surrendered to this movement, and one of them, living in Brittany, like the shore of northwest France, closest you can get to England, he started to receive visions. But he was an academic. And academics sometimes aren't too friendly towards these kinds of things. And so he thought, well, I'm involved in my books, I don't have time for this. And he was receiving visions, the tradition says, from Jesus, Mary, and St. Dominic, the founder of his community. And they were asking him to revive the Dominican rosary, the father of all rosaries. But he was reluctant until Jesus said to him on one occasion, I love this. Jesus said to him this is powerful stuff. He said, the world is filled with ravenous wolves, and you, unfaithful dog, know not how to bark. Yikes! How'd you like to be on the receiving end of that? Right? That's God saying that to you. It seems harsh, but it's not. Why would he call him an unfaithful dog? Because he's a Dominican. You are a son of St. Dominic. You are a Dominicanis. Why are you not barking against the wolves? You're in your books. You've got this weapon. So that's when he kicked it in gear. And he began to renew this, and he wrote books about it. And he renewed the confraternity that St. Dominic founded, even though it may have gone by a different name at the beginning, as an association of prayer. And there's actually, in my book, I have the references of how he set one up when he went to Rome, St. Dominic. He renewed this, the Confraternity of the Rosary, and people started joining. And another Dominican brother founded another one in 1475, Father Jacob Springer, and it spread everywhere, everywhere. But guess who wasn't liking it? Satan, the dragon. He knows the power that this has. And you're going to see this constant give and take. Satan is going to go on the attack to seek to destroy this. God, through his church and through his saints specifically, will try and resharpen the blade. It's going to happen in every century. So, the next century, the 16th century, what happens? Well, lots of stuff, tons of stuff. Well, you've got a disgruntled man who leaves the priesthood, Martin Luther. He was a fallen away priest. And he marries a nun that he helped escape from the convent. And he had a confraternity rosary book that he owned. It's still in the library holdings of the University of Jena in Germany to this day. And in the margins, what do you see that he wrote? He hated this. Oh yes, there were certain parts of Our Lady that he still held to, but the rosary, oh no. He called it legendary, mythological, stupid work done for no one. Why? Because he was on the attack against indulgences, and this has indulgences attached to it. This was being prayed for souls in purgatory, and eventually him and those who came after him would get away from those aspects of our faith. And he slammed this thing. I'm not making this up. It exists today in the book that he owned in Germany. Whoa. So, I'm not saying the guy was a Satanist, but the spirit behind what he was doing was not the Holy Spirit. And things continued with the game. God raised up phenomenal saints in what's called the Counter-Reformation. St. Charles Borromeo and St. Philip Neri, and you name it, so many. Even the Jesuits came into existence, and they founded the Sodality of Our Lady, the Jesuit counterpart to the Confraternities of the Rosary, where they would seek to renew Catholic life and society by means of the Rosary. See, the Protestants tried to get rid of it, but they didn't do that at all. They actually made it flourish. Because what happened? That was the century of the missionaries, the Jesuits. They went to India, and they went to the Far East and Asia, and the Dominicans and the Franciscans went to Central America, South America, and when they went across the high seas on those boats, did they bring big bulky tomes with them? No. Did they take huge liturgical items with them? No. They took the Bible on a set of beads, and they evangelized the world, and it worked. This is the essence of it all, and they knew it. And you know, beginning with the founding of this, I forgot to mention this, they saw this as a weapon to conquer the falsehoods. And to me it's interesting that they wear it on their left. Most religious wear the rosary on their left if they have a habit. Do you know why that is? Because it comes out of a time of chivalry, when knights would unsheathe their sword. Most people are right-handed, not all, but most. You unsheathe it from your left. That's why it's worn on the left side for almost all of religions who wear a rosary as part of their habit. When the Dominicans went to Mexico in 1525,